Hey guys and gals, Matt Walter here with Performance Golf Zone. We're at the wonderful Vanderbilt Legends Club today, and what we're going to show you is how to use a Tiger squat to maximize your distance with the long stick and hit some big drives downrange. So today's video, I'm going to show you how to set up a drill so you can work through this and learn how to use your lower body to maximize power and increase club head speed in the transition and into your downswing. So one of the main things that everybody talked about when Tiger was in his heyday in the early 2000s was how much his head dropped when he started his transition into the hit and into delivery of the golf club into the ball. So the main thing about that move was that's how Tiger was creating power in his downswing and how he was creating that massive amount of club head speed that he was able to generate and hit it by everybody in the field by 40 yards. So the move I'm going to help you do today may not hit it as far as Tiger, but I'm going to help you maximize some more distance into your game. So what did Tiger do so effectively different, and how is he able to use the ground to create that pressure so that he could create that club head speed? So the best way I would think about it is when you're making your golf swing and you're in that transitional move, Tiger is basically shooting a jump shot. So it'd be the effective way of thinking about it would be, if you were going to shoot a little jumper, you have to squat and explode up. Well, what Tiger was doing was effectively that. And what I see a lot of golfers doing right now in their golf swing is that they take the basketball, shoot, and then try and jump, or they jump and then try and shoot. So they're not timing up the sequence of when that explosion has to happen. And so because of that, you can create a flip, you hit the high flare out to right field, and so you have to be able to sequence the motion to match up with what you're trying to do. So let's talk about how that works. So first of all, we have our alignment stick that's lined up towards our target. And then I want you to take a second stick, and what's going to happen here is we're going to set up roughly where we feel like we would set up to the ball, and we're going to put that alignment stick down right between our cheeks, straight up behind us. Okay, the reason for this is when we work through this drill, what we don't want is our butt to move into the golf ball, because that would be a weird way to jump, one, but two, it would push our pelvis into the golf ball and tilt our plane and really mess up impact, and could result in a lot of heels / shanks, which we definitely don't want. So when we were set up, you should barely be able to feel that stick touching your rear end, and it should feel pretty much right between your two cheeks. Now the reason why it's there is that when you're at the top, your right cheek should be kind of moving around it, and then when you're at that top position, you want to try and push both cheeks back against that stick. And the reason for that is if you can get your butt to move away from the ball, you can start to get that feeling of loading your lower body and it going back into more forward bend and getting a little bit more pressure down so that you can start to explode up. So the feeling has to become that you're kind of squatting, or I'll tell people to sit in a chair, but the feeling is such that when you're at the top of your backswing, what I will look for players to do is to try and push from their lead toe of their front foot, so their left toe if you're a right-handed golfer, push their pelvis back so that their hips get back to square to the target line, parallel to the target line. They're putting pressure back against that stick, and they do all that before their left arm gets parallel to the ground. So that little bit of a move is you have a full turn, you sit that butt back to that stick, left arm is roughly parallel to the ground, and then you start to push up as you go into the hit and go around to your follow through. So the main achievement here is that you're trying to increase that bend forward. Now if I were to go to the top and I start to try and get that feeling of squatting down, but the problem is I go and push my pelvis up, you'll feel yourself rise, and we definitely don't want to do that. If anything, you should feel like your head gets a little bit lower as you turn that hip back to the alignment stick. Now, there is one thing that might affect your ability to do this. You have to have the ability to move your pelvis independently of your spine. And not necessarily that you're going to detach your spine, but in the sense that when I've worked with some players, you have to do what TPI calls a shake and bake, where you can push your butt out and tuck your butt underneath without a lot of movement in your spine. And I see a lot of players who, when they get in their posture and I tell them to tuck their butt underneath them or tuck their pelvis in this way, they'll go like this. And they lift their whole spine angle up and they can't move their hip the way they need to. So what happens is that's going to affect their ability to go from here and sit back if they can't work your hips underneath. So a good drill to implement into your daily program would be to set up here, get your arms across your chest, tuck your hips under, push your butt back, and try and learn how to create that range of motion. You can do what I was taught is called the cat and dog, where you get on your hands and knees and try and do that same thing where you arch your back and round your shoulder. It's a good yoga kind of drill or yoga position to move through. But that will help a lot with learning how to create a little bit of pelvis mobility and strengthen your core. Now, back to trying to put your butt back on the line and create that squat. If having your hands in the swing is throwing off your ability to work on your body, what I would tell you to do is get set up with the club across your chest, make a turn, try and keep the golf club pointed at the golf ball as you sit your pelvis back. Now the club may move a little bit ahead, but we don't want to see this, and we definitely don't want to see that where the club gets parallel to the ground. So it's back here, sit butt back, stand up and finish like you're trying to squeeze your cheeks. Everybody made fun of Tiger for that glute squeeze, but that's exactly what you got to feel. So if the plan comes together as we hoped, it'll look a little something like this. So if you like this tip and drill, please subscribe to our channel. Leave a comment below. I'll be sure to give you an answer, to answer any questions you may have. I hope you enjoyed it, and I can't wait to see you next time.